Alright, serious question. If we can move mountains for natural resources, build skyscrapers that touch the clouds, and launch rockets to the moon, why can't we, just dig a hole to the center of the Earth? Well, today on Seriously Dave, we're going on a journey deep underground to find out why that's a lot trickier than it sounds, and what would happen if we could.
Seriously Dave!
Back in the 1960s, a team of American scientists tried to drill a hole through the outermost layer of the Earth, the crust. And after 5 years of drilling from a ship in the ocean, they made it 600 feet. Actually, it was 601 feet. Let's give them credit for every foot they got. That's like 2 soccer fields long. I can drive a golf ball further, and I don't even play golf. Which brings me to the first obstacle to drilling to the center of the Earth. 4,000 miles of rocks, molten metal, and crushing pressure between us and the middle of the planet. Look at it this way, if I keep digging at this rate here, 1 foot every 5 minutes, it would take me 200 straight years of non-stop digging to reach the center. And I was digging in sand. What if I hit a layer of rocks? And that's why Americans chose to drill in the ocean floor, because the ocean crust, or first layer of the Earth, is much thinner than under the continents. A few years later, Russians tried to do the same thing, and they did pretty well, but eventually they had to stop too. This time because it got so hot. At the bottom of their hole, 40,000 feet down, it was 356 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it was stinking hot. Every mile down, the temperature goes up 60 to 80 degrees. The rocks were starting to move. They were still solid, but moving. So the Russians pulled the plug, sealed up the hole, and left. This is what remains of the world's deepest hole, the Kola Super Deep Borehole. And under that metal plate is a hole 7.5 miles deep, which makes me glad that they covered it up. Could you imagine accidentally dropping something down there? Ugh. So in the Earth we have the inner core, 800 miles of solid iron. Then there's the outer core, 1,400 miles of liquid moving iron. Then we have the mantle, 1,800 miles thick of super hot rock that moves slowly like asphalt. And on this model, the crust is the pencil line, between 3 and 25 miles thick. And the deepest we've ever drilled, human beings, is 1/3 of the way through that line. At this point, you might be wondering, how do we know what the interior of the Earth looks like if we've hardly scratched the surface? The short answer: earthquakes, and the seismic waves that come from them. Now, I won't bore you with the details, but our entire planet is covered with seismometers that measure the size of earthquake waves, and we've figured out quite a bit based off the speed and location those waves hit around the planet. It's kind of like this tube. As I pull on the strings, you make observations. You can't see what's inside, but with enough time and data, you'll probably get a pretty good idea of what's going on. Now, will you ever know for sure what's in there? No, and that's science. The same goes for the inside of the Earth. Now let's get theoretical. What if I did have some sort of a magic machine that could drill a hole straight through the center of the Earth, all the way to the other side? Well, first, that could never happen because the center of the Earth is hotter than the surface of the sun. Seriously, it's like 11,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And that would melt both me and anything I was drilling with. Second, the air pressure would flatten anything left over. But what if I removed the hot air, had a suit that would give me good air to breathe, and then I jumped in? Well, I'd fall really fast without air, zoom past the center of the Earth, and then get pulled back down, yo-yoing back and forth until eventually I'd stop, floating in the center as the mass of the Earth and all of its gravity was now above me in all directions, pulling out equally instead of down. And this would also happen if the hole was in an ocean, because the antipode, or opposite side of the Earth from where I am, is in the Indian Ocean. Then we'd have to swim to the other side of the world. It probably wouldn't be super dramatic, but it'd be pretty cool to see. And my hole would be small, so it wouldn't look like that video I just showed you. The second thing that would happen if I could drill through the Earth is I would be rich. If I had that kind of technology that I could do that sort of thing, I would have access to unlimited amounts of minerals, oil, gas, geothermal energy to power the world. I would have the best company that was ever made. And if you think about it, many of the wealthiest companies on Earth are oil and gas companies that have been drilling holes super deep for a very long time. So, can humans make it to the center of the Earth? No, we can't even come close. Should we go to the center of the Earth? Well, yes. The natural resources that we pull from the ground literally make the modern world we live in work. As long as we do it in a responsible way, why not? Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go fill in that hole I dug in my yard. And until I see you again, stay curious.